Hey, this is Mox Fox. We're going to have one last look at the KS2 Elite and see, after a month of use, pros, cons, exactly what I like, what I didn't, and see how well the edge retention on both the knife and the scissors actually held up, and maybe what I would change about this going forward. So, first of all, the sheath. There was a little bit of fraying, but this I believe was mostly just because of me pulling in and out of the multi-tool. Other than that, sheath held up great. I use this as my primary cutting device for basically everything minus food prep for an entire month to see exactly how much abuse this could take. The bits served really well. One thing that I will be changing moving forward is going to be changing out the hex bits for something else, because I found myself never needing them and needing other stuff. But that is just a small thing, and it's personal preference for that. Now, moving over to the negatives here. First of all, the file here, I would have actually liked to see a diamond file instead of a crosscut file. Mostly just for sharpening and stuff like that. I didn't like the way this file was. I think that's just my personal preference on this, though. It did work fine. The ruler was absolutely useless, never used it at all, but it was there. That being said, the can opener, bottle opener didn't get any use over the course of the month. I don't drink, so I don't need a bottle opener. So that didn't get any use. The awl did get some use. I did use this for leather. I actually have some 8-ounce leather here, which I will be doing some testing, and it was very, very sharp. Now, this is very, very tough leather, so it is hard to actually get through. Most of my sheaths are made out of this or something else, so I will need to actually get through it. But it worked fine. It's great for wood and lighter tasks like that. The locking mechanisms on everything held up very strong. I did find I actually like the saw on this thing a lot more than any of the other multi-tools that I actually have. The lock on it held up very well. The teeth on it were exceptionally sharp, and it cut through wood like it was nothing. Now, on to the stars of the show. The blade, D2 blade, how did it hold up over after a month? Keep in mind, I did not sharpen any of this stuff after the last cut test I did. So D2 blade held up very, very sharp. It is good. It's not hair shaving sharp anymore. But like I said in my last video, a little bit of stropping, which I will be doing after this, and it'll be back to shaving hair, no problem. Now, scissors. This is what I primarily used this for in that month, and there is some wear and tear on this. After the month, I cut through so much stuff with this. Anywhere between paracord, cloth. I used it for some leather working. I used it for cutting strapping. I cut zip ties. And there is some noticeable dullness on these blades. Is it still enough to cut? Yes, it is. I have some cloth here, so this is more of a t-shirt material. With the bottom part, it did cut, and as you can see right there at the end, it did bind up a little bit and did not cut near the tip. Let's try that again, and again, it's having a hard time. This can be solved with just a simple strop, which I will be doing, but as you can see, it is binding up a little bit. Now, I did put these through a lot of abuse, so I'm not surprised on exactly how much wear this actually has done. That being said, the back of the scissors for cutting larger stuff, no problem. It still cuts through, no problem whatsoever. So these could still work in most scenarios. Now, I'm going to take a moment, fast forward a little bit, and I'm going to sharpen these. Well, not sharpen, I'm going to just drop them and see if we can just remove that little nick there and go from there. So If you give me a minute, we're going to time lapse. Okay, and welcome back. So, a little bit of dropping on the blade or on the scissors, and we'll see exactly if that did fix it. I have some canvas material here. Still seems to be a little bit of burr, so I'm going to hit it with the stuff again. I don't believe I need to actually sharpen these with a file or my stones. I do believe that just another dropping, and I'll be right back. Okay, and welcome back. So, have this. There we go. Like new. No hang-ups, no nothing. Cut through it like it's nothing. So here's some one strapping. This is very light strapping. But yeah, it back to being super sharp for whatever you need. Only downside to these scissors is because they don't actually come apart very easily. I guess they do come apart. Sharpening them will be a bit more of a pain, especially if you don't want to take these things apart. But that being said, after a month of use on this thing, I absolutely love it. They work great. This is going to be on my hip for, basically from now on. It's replacing all my other multi-tools. I am actually going to be buying a second one of these to put in a repair kit for my bushcraft stuff. That being said, after a month of use, only small changes that I would like to see on this, and they're less of a problem and more of just personal preference on that. So if you have not checked out the Roxon KS2 Elite, I highly recommend it. Check it out. Yeah, that's all I could really say about it. It is mind-boggling on how well this thing has performed, especially for the price. That being said, this has been Mox Fox, and remember, never stop learning.